A seemingly mundane man is frozen in time. When he awakens from his frozen slumber, he finds the world he knew has been replaced by a wasteland pushed to the brink. The people, places, and pleasures of his time are all gone. He's an outsider, forced to adapt to this dark future. Armed with the knowledge of his time and a sense of moral goodness, he sets out to save this dystopian nightmare. Does this sound familiar? To some, this sounds like the 2015 Bethesda game Fallout 4. To others, this sounds like the 2006 comedy film Idiocracy. This brings me to the point of the video. Fallout 4 is just Idiocracy, but worse. Also, spoiler warning. Idiocracy is a 2006 comedy co-written and directed by Mike Judge, famous for being the creator of Beavis and Butthead and also King of the Hill. Idiocracy is a dark comedy about an everyday man that awakens in a far dumber future. If you haven't seen this film, I highly recommend it. Sure, there are some jokes that don't land, but Terry Crews steals most scenes and is worth the price of admission. While watching the film again for the first time in years, I was heavily reminded of Fallout 4, a game I've personally spent hundreds of hours playing. Who knew neglecting your son could be so much fun? From my vantage point, Fallout 4 has a very similar plot. Main character frozen, dumb new world, your smarts are needed to save the day. Good job, big guy. Now, some of you might be saying, but in Fallout 4 you're looking for your son and wife's killer. True, but how many of you actually did that? Some of you neglected your own children playing this game, then neglected your missing child as well. Life imitating art. Plus, the core gameplay of Fallout 4 is actually the looting, shooting, and building. Sure, the main quest is there, but in reality, the game is built on themes of rebuilding a dystopian world, hence it leaning into similar themes like Idiocracy. There are plenty of similarities if you look close enough. You see, in both stories, the main character uses logic, understanding, and their previous world knowledge to help save the day. While they aren't the smartest people in their respective worlds, compared to the idiots and mutants, they come off as geniuses. Plus, both have prostitutes. In Idiocracy, the main character discovers that the nation's crops are being watered by a sports drink, leading to food shortages and an inhospitable landscape. Despite not being a genius, he's smart enough to know that plants don't need electrolytes. Save those for the scammers. And in Fallout 4, settlements also require your help, because in the Fallout future, settlers don't know how to build walls, or plant food, or collect water, or defend themselves. I mean, how are you even alive? Both stories relish in showing you the fun oddities of their world, highlighting the various aspects of their insanity. However, while Idiocracy is a tried and true satirical comedy, Fallout 4 struggles with some of the larger, more poignant themes, seemingly unaware or unable to deliver a thought-provoking message. The difference is how Fallout 4 approaches its main character and its world building. You see, in Fallout 4, there is no reason for the people to be this stupid. Sure, the bombs fell and people fled underground, but how have these people survived without us? Look at how the previous games handled this, and how the citizens established governments, cities, and even economies. But how have the idiots of Fallout 4 survived 20 or 40 years in a mutant apocalypse, yet can't build literal walls? I know the game is trying to give purpose to the settlement mechanic, but it shouldn't come at the cost of logic. In previous games, sure, the world was absurd in cartoonish ways, but it was always tongue-in-cheek or overtly dark in nature. It was the perfect blend of stupid, dark, and witty. You would think a game about Fallout would focus on the themes of nuclear deterrence, but in reality, that has never been the main theme of Fallout in my opinion. Previous games to me highlighted the darkness of humanity, that even after a nuclear war, the sins of man are destined to be repeated. Humans will always find a way to enslave, kill, and sexualize anything. Fallout 4, though, makes these darker themes a joke. Much like Idiocracy, however, the joke doesn't land. You see, Idiocracy pokes fun at corporate America and shows the laughable dangers of an idiotic populace that mindlessly consumes. The movie leans into these themes, showing the pitfalls of consumerism and the dark future of a public audience inclined to ignore issues in the sake of momentary comforts. It shows a world that doesn't want to think, it wants to consume. It wants to be blissfully ignorant to the detriment of the world. It gives a thoughtful reason for the stupidity. The main character is just an average dude. He isn't the chosen one seeking revenge or destined for greatness. He simply does what we all should do, battle stupidity, which is why I punch every mirror I see. One day I'll get that stupid son of a bitch. Idiocracy says and highlights all these complex themes, all while also making crude jokes about farts. Fallout 4 leans into the same stupidity, allowing you to play savior, but there is no justification or deeper meaning for the idiotic nature of the populace. It plays off of our previous knowledge as the punchline, like, hey, that's not baseball, you silly Boston dude. Despite hundreds of years, so much of the Boston area is uncivilized, dirty, and downright stupid for no reason other than giving the player an excuse to be a know-it-all smartass. Every character is an idiotic caricature that is supposed to invoke comedy or cleverness, seeing how they twisted the original. Every aspect of this game is a reference to something else from our current world. From robotic private dicks to Hancocks, to how the game yanks old world ideas and twists them. And yes, I know that last sentence sounded really gay. The picturesque alternate 1950s, the world as we knew it, all gone in a flash, and we are left with comedic imitations. Idiocracy creates a scary, thought-provoking reason for the insanity, a dark truth that some of us don't want to admit. Fallout 4's reasoning just boils down to bombs bad. Again, Idiocracy justifies the stupid people. Fallout 4 just hopes you laugh and enjoy the quest rewards. This is why Fallout 4 has the worst world building in the entire series. You see, even in Fallout 3 or New Vegas, you could play in the madness. You could rig the election at the Republic of Dave or blow up an entire city for some bottle caps. Again, you could be someone of that world. You could be whoever you wanted to be and the game would judge you accordingly. Fallout 4 separates you from the world, hence why the bad guy options are so limited. Why would a normal family man from the past do evil? Wouldn't he want to rebuild? The game constantly highlights the world that was left behind so they can give you a reason to rebuild it, so they can crack some old world jokes. Now, some people liked this forced character narrative, but to me, it robs the player of meaningful character creation and choice. You play as Nate or Nora. That's it. This is the likely reason for the bland, boring, and boner-killing Minutemen, a simplistic, character-friendly faction built on restoring the lost liberty of the world. The problem is, so many things in Fallout 4 are presented as black or white. The game isn't a comedic indictment of blissful ignorance. It isn't a faction sandbox with conflicting political ideologies. Some argue that the game is about identity due to the witch hunt of synths and how we outcast certain members of society. That's fair, but personally, this has always felt a bit hollow to me because of one simple reason. Very little people suspect us. You see, within the dumb world of Fallout 4, it's a catch-22. To act normal means to act insane. Our character claims to be from pre-war, has a computer strapped to his arm, and is running around looking for an infant like a madman. To most, this would be a red flag. In the idiotic world of Fallout 4, you blend right in. The sane people within this world are the actual insane ones. You know, some poor soul was like, hey guys, maybe we should try cleaning up all the trash. He's a synth, kill him! Again, these dumb people have to exist just so you can play hero. There's no deeper message of value. Fallout 4 just feels like a game about someone's boomer father going around correcting the dipshits playing dress up. The dark ironic truth is that despite having similar themes and plot devices, Fallout 4 is actually the very thing Idiocracy warns you about. The movie shows you the cost of blindly following people, pop culture, and companies. There are plenty of fans that defend Bethesda blindly, despite Bethesda's own predatory nature. Bethesda, in some regards, has put profit over product and began to market their games to an extreme level. At this point, Bethesda has cultivated a fandom that will defend it from every problem because of the games they create. Some fanboys defend them, regardless of their poor choices, bad monetization, and terrible PR. Again, dumbing oneself so they can enjoy mindless fun and escape? Doesn't that sound familiar? Is this all to say you can't enjoy their games? No, hell, even I enjoyed aspects of Fallout 4. I played it for hundreds of hours. But I do feel that Bethesda, through their flawed design and poor choices, has rightfully deserved the negative press and constructive criticisms over the years. The flaws of Fallout 4's story, world building, and characters being a shining example of things that should have been better. Unfortunately for us fans, some of these flaws have carried over to their games. All in all, Fallout 4 isn't a bad game. Hell, it's better than Starfield. I just personally think the story is a flawed mess, and the settlements you build are better than the world Bethesda built. So with all this being said, make sure to give Idiocracy a watch, play Fallout 4 for yourself, and subscribe for more Rot Brain content. You can also try checking out my other Bethesda videos. They're as cringe as this one. So with all this being said, have a good one, and never forget, God Howard sees everything.